Thank you for joining me for another iTWire video with top international and Australian executives. On my right, I have Jonah Kowall. He is the VP of Market Development and Insights at AppDynamics. And on my left, I have Andrew Brockfield. He's the Country Manager since December 2013 when AppDynamics entered the Australian marketplace. So welcome both of you to the program.
Thanks for having us.
So Jonah, I'll start with you. Can you please just give us the wrap on what AppDynamics is and the services it offers to people in the marketplace?
Sure. Yeah, definitely. Thanks. So AppDynamics is focused on application intelligence, and what that means is it's software that's used to understand how other software is functioning, both for troubleshooting purposes and to extract information about the software. We then use that data to provide insights into what's happening from a business perspective and an IT perspective.
And I mean, I'm looking through your website and your presentation. You're looking at apps, you're looking at servers, you're looking at real-time monitoring. Tell us a bit more about, a bit more detail about what you do.
Yeah, so we observe how software is running by putting our software inside the other software and understanding how it's executing. What we do from there is we go down into the infrastructure so that we understand how the infrastructure is affecting the application performance. And as part of our recent release, we went much deeper into server monitoring, and you're going to see us continue to expand. The other thing is that seeing inside the software, because everyone is using new languages and new technologies and new architectures, means that we always have to adapt our software to deal with those changes. So that's increasingly a challenging proposition as all of this change takes place.
Sure, and no doubt you've gone through multiple iterations, and it's low overheads because everyone's trying to extract the most value out of their data centers and not have things chewing up resources and all the rest.
Yeah, I mean, for us, our product was designed initially to run in highly scalable production environments. So what that means is that we reduce the overhead that our software places on other software while providing consistent insight into that software. And that's really what makes us different, is that we were designed specifically for that use case.
And you were talking before also about software complexity.
Yeah.
So how do you simplify things?
Yeah, so as all of these companies either take third-party software or start writing things in multiple languages, their entire ecosystems move from what used to be a pretty simple, straightforward application architecture into a sprawling, I'll call it rat's nest or spider web of components that need to work together to deliver the user experience. And what we do is we provide a consistent view into that software by instrumenting it consistently as it flows over the path. And that provides the equivalent level of insight regardless of where something lives, whether it's in your data center, it's living in public cloud, it's written in Java, .NET, PHP, Python, whatever it may be.
So what's the Australian connection? How did you must have started getting requests from partners and from just people looking up your website, and you would have decided a while ago, hey, we need Australian representation. So what's the connection here with Andrew?
Yeah, so I suppose AppDynamics had been in the Australian marketplace for a couple of years prior to December 2013. When I set up the business in Australia, there was myself and a technical resource. There was two of us. Now we're number 12 in the Australian business. And it's a path that US vendors have done before. You have a value-added reseller, get a beachhead, so to speak. And we then decided that we wanted to accelerate that growth and obviously have broader bandwidth in the Australian and New Zealand marketplace. Put our own people on the ground, and obviously I was the first of those, and we've now expanded the channel with more value-added resellers, working a lot closer with the large SIs, the Indian SIs, companies like Accenture and Avanade as well. So it's just that evolution and maturity of a business in a remote geo like Australia for a US-based software.
Sure. And what are some examples of some of the customers you're happy to talk about?
Yeah, so probably a good one that comes to mind is we talk about the software-defined business. It's a business that's inherently dependent upon software. And a great Australian example, who are a customer of ours, would be the Property Exchange of Australia. So PEXA is effectively the e-conveyancing premise. So instead of all that manual paper-based things of moving titles and settlements where at 10 o'clock in the morning, if everything goes right, I'll get the keys to my new house, and then someone hasn't filled in a document correctly, that doesn't happen. So PEXA is jointly owned by the government bodies, by the major banks, and is an entity in its own right. And their premise is to try and move as much of the old paper-based conveyancing processes to the digital age, and we're fortunate enough that they've chosen AppDynamics to help them in that, because the performance of that software is critical, whether that's the moment that transfer is going to take place in substantial amounts of money, and very important personal things, my new home, I want to be able to move into it, sort of thing. So the performance of the software in that context is extremely important for a number of reasons, and they rely on us to make sure their software is available and is performing as expected.
Anyone else that you want to mention?
We've got a great a software company here in Sydney, local the software company called Adept Business Systems. They're a great Australian success story of writing software for the service clubs industry and the property management. So they're relying upon AppDynamics in the provision of their software to their customers to help them write better quality code, optimise the code so it performs better. So today we number about 75 customers in the Australian marketplace.
And that's a growth from about 30 in December 2013. So.
Correct, yeah. So we've from 2 staff to 12, from 30 customers to 75 in the past roughly 18 months. It's been a great journey.
Yeah, and any customers you want to highlight, Jonah, from globally?
Well, I mean, we have great customers globally across the board. Our biggest verticals that we focus on in terms of customer adoption tend to be retail and finance, but we see everything as all businesses become software defined. Some of the big ones in the US include Priceline, Fox News. There are many, many other ones depending on the vertical that we go after. But, we also target companies that are kind of moving between the digital age and the physical age. So we have customers that span both, and then we have completely software-defined businesses and customers as well.
Anything else you'd like to tell people watching this, wanting to learn a bit more about AppDynamics?
Yeah, so I mean, the core piece is really seeing inside what's happening in the software and being able to extract the business transactions users are executing. So for us, it starts with the user and the user experience, and then we trace the transaction from end to end. So that enables us to gain all kinds of insight about the user and about all of the business logic that's embedded in the software. And that's really what makes the platform different. We provide SaaS and on-premises deployments of the software, and it's easy to implement and easy to use with a rich user interface. And that's really what makes this different, is that it's significantly easier to implement than technologies in the past and provides value. So most of our customers tend to buy from us multiple times. We encourage people to download and try the software, see the value, and then they'll come back and buy more because the software essentially sells itself. Sorry.
Anything you'd like to add, Andrew?
No, I think Jonah's done a great job. I think if you're an organisation, a business or a government organisation where software is important and your consumer, your customer, your end user experience is important from an availability and performance perspective, you need to be looking at the APM market, and we would certainly position ourselves as one of the leaders in that by our customers' metrics, by the industry metrics, analysts, etc. So we encourage people to come and check us out. And as Jonah said, the simplest and easiest way is to hit the website, take a download, try it for yourself, and see whether what we say is as good as what we say it is.
Gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our pleasure. Thank you.